obviously watch the recordings that's taken place and things like that. So I think I'll give it another minute, and then we can start.
Okay. Tyrone, I've got a few videos that I want to share with the guys. So what do you think is going to be best? Because I mean, they can watch these videos in their spare time. I also have a separate session, and I'm glad Mark is online. That I want to discuss with regards to the work that we have done, the SWOT analysis that we will do, and then what we can do for the guys on the social and marketing side of things subsequently. So my question is shall we do the videos? Since I think most of us are comfortable with SWOT analysis, or shall we maybe not do the videos, since most of us are comfortable with the SWOT, and a lot of guys aren't here, and then discuss the more meaty stuff? Or do you think it's still a good idea to do the SWOT as part of the recording?
I think we can run two elements. Do what you did the last time, where you shared an email with the links to the videos, which are always great for people to go on and watch at their own time. Let's run the session as we would ordinarily do it on the
as if everyone was here.
And then because we can never assume that we all know SWOT. I mean, although I've been in business for nearly 30 years, scarily, there's still lots to learn.
Sure.
So,
I think that's a great...
The only lesson I have learned in life is you can't teach a man something he thinks he already knows. So I prefer not to know anything and just learn every day.
True. Okay, no, that's a good call. And the true master knows that every day is to start every day as a novice, something like that.
Something along those lines. Guys, okay, it's 2:10. I think we've given everyone enough time. They'll probably join as the time comes along. I'm going to mute everyone, and then Jean-Pierre, if you'd be so good to then unmute yourself afterwards and then just kick off from there.
Cool. Yeah,
cool. Thanks,
100%.
Guys. Enjoy.
Cool, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to learn together. I'm looking forward to the session, and I hope we all get something really valuable out of it. So without further ado, I'm going to kick off. We've got 3 videos. So the one is just like a general intro. The second one is about Tesla's SWOT analysis, so to give us a little bit more context. And then the third one is about Starbucks. So let's sit back, relax, but also make notes, and please ask some questions. It's always good to get other people's perceptions and angles on what's been presented. So enjoy.
Hi, and welcome back. We know strategy analysis has 2 main branches: analysis of a firm's external environment and analysis of a firm's internal environment. In our previous lessons, we learned how to analyze the internal and external environment of a firm. SWOT is a famous framework that allows us to combine the 2 types of analysis. SWOT is sometimes referred to as an internal-external analysis. The acronym SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The first 2, strengths and weaknesses, are related to a firm's internal environment, while the last 2, opportunities and threats, consider its external environment. We can use a SWOT analysis when analyzing industries, companies, products, new initiatives, policies, or even people. It is a simple and useful framework that allows us to group and visualize strengths and weaknesses, and to identify potential threats and opportunities that exist in the external environment. In addition, the SWOT framework could be useful when you want to understand the areas in which your firm performs well, and the ones that need improvement. The 4 elements of SWOT analysis are usually placed in a table which looks something like this. Internal strengths and external opportunities are vertically paired as helpful elements, while internal weaknesses and external threats are paired as harmful elements. Right, so if we perform a company analysis under strengths, we would expect to see its core competences, the areas where the business excels and has a competitive advantage over competitors. An example of a firm's strength could be its strong brand recognition. Weaknesses are areas that need improvement. Such vulnerabilities place a company at a disadvantage when competing against other firms. Usually, the disadvantage results from other companies having a competitive advantage. An example of a weakness is higher cost structure. Opportunities can be seen as favorable factors existing in a company's external environment, in the industry where it operates, and have the potential to improve its current results and competitive positioning. Taking advantage of opportunities depends on how skilled a company's top management team is. To take advantage of an opportunity, the management must be able to recognize opportunities when they arise, and then act accordingly when the time is right. An example of an opportunity is the advent of a new technology the company can exploit to expand its product offering. The last of the 4 elements of SWOT analysis is threats. Threats arise in a company's external environment and might harm its current business. But if you can identify a threat, you can lessen its impact by taking precautions. An example of a threat is the entry of a strong competitor with access to advanced technology. This is a great overview of the SWOT framework. In our next lesson, we'll conclude the strategy module of the course by applying SWOT in practice. Thanks for watching.
Okay, great. In this video, we'll use the SWOT framework to analyze Tesla and organize our thoughts about the company. Hopefully, a 360-degree analysis of its strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats will improve our idea about the firm's future outlook. Tesla was founded in 2003 and is on the mission to become the first successful pure electric vehicle producer in the world. Also, it aims to be one of 2 U.S. auto producers that have not filed for bankruptcy, the other one being Ford. Let's start with the company's strengths. First of all, everyone has heard of Tesla, right? So it definitely has strong brand recognition. Actually, Tesla is the most recognized electric car producer in the world. Quite an advantage with respect to other companies that are about to enter the industry. Moreover, many customers appreciate Tesla's innovator's spirit and the fact that it is a first mover in the automotive industry. Such originality, coupled with aesthetically pleasing design and positive customer experience with the product, justify Tesla's premium pricing and choice of differentiated competitive strategy. Elon Musk, Tesla's notorious CEO and major shareholder, is one of the most famous and appealing businessmen around the world. His ability to tell a story and involve the public is unmatched. By doing this, he wins over many people who actively follow his businesses and will likely become customers. What is very important, such customers can be very loyal if handled correctly, which is priceless in the long run. Tesla is attractive to people because it doesn't simply sell cars. The company sells a story, the story of an organization which is in business with an ideal purpose, to preserve the global environment. Probably this is Tesla's most valuable strength. Along with that, we can mention several other important advantages the company has. Its cars are ahead of the competition in terms of battery range and experience with battery production and recharging. Tesla has put in motion a plan that would make it the biggest battery producer in the world. The company intends to construct several gigafactories, 3 in the US, 1 in Europe, and 1 in Shanghai, resulting in a significant cost advantage against competitors who outsource battery production. Tesla's autopilot feature has been operational for several years now, accumulating more and more data and testing in real-life conditions. In a future where we will increasingly depend on autonomous vehicles, Tesla's experience with autopilot would be extremely valuable. Of course, we also need to mention the company's supercharger network, allowing Tesla owners to charge their vehicles for free in a very fast way when on the road. In a perfect world, this would do. However, we live in a fossil fuel-dominated world, so let's consider Tesla's competitive weaknesses too. Number one, and quite important, Tesla continued to burn cash in 2017 and 2018. The company has not turned a profit ever since it was founded. That's understandable considering that it grew rapidly with the goal of becoming a true global auto producer. Plenty of investments were made to achieve that. Negative cash flows are a problem, given that Tesla's stock price is under significant pressure from short sellers who believe the company is overvalued. The fact that Tesla isn't a traditional mass-market car producer became obvious in late 2017 and 2018, when the company started producing Model 3. The automatic production line it had constructed didn't function properly, and Tesla was unable to reach its target of 5,000 automobiles per week for about a year. This proves that it can be very hard to make the transition from being a premium sports car producer, delivering several thousand cars per month, to a mass-market company. It is very likely that the company will experience similar challenges when it attempts to realize cost efficiencies and improve margins. Traditional car companies have the advantage that they have been in the business of producing at scale for decades. Tesla is an innovator in its field, but some may feel that Elon Musk's idea to make all of their patents open source was a bit naive and idealistic, endangering the company in the long run, as it wouldn't be able to protect its inventions from imitation. The last weakness we'll add here is Elon Musk's divided attention. The fact that Tesla has a CEO who is responsible for 4 separate billion-dollar entities is a bit disturbing. First, is he going to be able to sustain such workloads in the long run? And second, how much of Elon Musk's time is spent working on Tesla? Besides strengths and weaknesses, we should also consider future opportunities too, right? Let's go ahead and list some possible developments that could help the company succeed in the long run. The electric car market is the future of transportation. Most people agree on that. How fast will the transition to electric vehicles be? Most people disagree on that. Nobody knows. Some experts believe it will happen over the next 10 years. Others, especially the ones involved with petrol refineries, claim it would take at least 40 years. One thing is certain, though. For Tesla, the faster the transition to electric vehicles, the better. Currently, the company is well positioned to win a significant market share of people switching to electric vehicles. In a favorable scenario, this could be great for Tesla, as very few of the other automobile producers are ready to compete in the electric vehicles market at full scale. So that's definitely one opportunity. Another one is that Tesla expanded its product range, remember? Because of their merger with SolarCity, the company now offers batteries, power walls, and other equipment related to production and storage of renewable energy. A rising demand for renewable energy could mean more business for Tesla. Furthermore, Tesla's huge industrial batteries will become a very interesting product line in the event the renewable energy market continues to grow at this pace. If it speeds up even further, the demand for storage of electricity produced by renewables will rise sharply. Of course, there are some very enticing opportunities ahead of the company in terms of economies of scale, increasing volumes of production, and hence lowering the cost of production. Think Model 3, for example. Economies of scope. Producing different types of vehicles will probably be more efficient when the range of products Tesla offers expands, and R&D costs can be shared between different models. Another exciting opportunity is factory automation. Elon Musk shared that, at some point, the production hell the company experienced was caused by too much automation, and the level of automation of its Model 3 production line had to be reduced. That was a painful experience. But now that Tesla has the scar tissue and has learned a valuable lesson, it will probably try to build up on what was attempted before, removing flaws from the automation process. This could result in improved production volumes and lower costs, especially in terms of production personnel. Okay, great. One of the weaknesses we mentioned was that Elon Musk divides his time between several companies. Well, this can be a problem, but it also can be highly beneficial in the right circumstances. Elon Musk is involved with firms like SpaceX, The Boring Company, neurotechnology firm Neuralink, and nonprofit organization OpenAI. At some point, it is highly likely that synergies between these organizations could help Tesla improve its competitive position and know-how, providing a valuable advantage against traditional auto producers. The last piece of our SWOT analysis are the threats ahead of the company. As we mentioned before, the gradual transition to electric vehicles can happen in 10, but it can also happen in 40 or more years in a favorable scenario. Slower transition is a significant threat because it strips Tesla from its first-mover advantage and puts it in a position to operate in a market that is not growing fast enough. Such a scenario isn't very likely, given that most research indicates the electric vehicles market is about to experience tremendous growth over the next several years. Of course, the entry of traditional producers is a significant threat, as we discussed. Firms like BMW, Volkswagen, and Daimler will undoubtedly enter the market. As Tesla continues to release new models, there is no guarantee production difficulties would not appear again. This is another threat. Finally, one has to consider tax incentives for electric vehicles that are allowed in the US and around the world. At the moment, governments subsidize electric vehicles through tax deductions and other similar incentives. In the US, for example, automakers are allowed to sell up to 200,000 subsidized vehicles at the maximum incentive rate of $7,500 per vehicle. Then incentives are halved to $3,750 per vehicle, and so on. Although people from the automotive industry have asked for these incentives to be kept intact, even after reaching the 200,000 threshold, US politicians seem reluctant to do that. So, discontinuing incentives for electric cars is another threat for an electric producer like Tesla. Okay, perfect. I believe this wraps up our extensive SWOT analysis, in which we looked at Tesla's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Hope it was interesting for you, and thanks for watching.
Okay, great. So in this lesson, our goal would be to apply the SWOT framework in practice. Shouldn't be that difficult, right? The company we'll examine is Starbucks, the well-known U.S. coffee company and coffeehouse chain. It was founded in Seattle in 1971 and operates in several countries around the world. Let's start with the company's strengths. First, almost everyone knows its brand, right? So it definitely has a strong brand recognition. Starbucks has been proclaimed the most recognized coffee brand in the world, quite an advantage regarding other companies in the industry. The firm's brand is one offering of a differentiated product to customers, which is coherent with its strategy and pricing. Clients have expressed they love the atmosphere in Starbucks coffee houses. They can use free Wi-Fi and enjoy the coffee drinking experience to the fullest. The company owns thousands of outlets around the world, and its clients can find it even when traveling overseas. That's a strong advantage, as it ensures loyal clients can remain such even overseas. And finally, Starbucks supply chain management ensures the quality of coffee served to customers is excellent. The company chooses its suppliers carefully, which improves the quality of its products and ensures clients receive a super coffee experience. This is another choice in sync with its differentiation strategy. Okay, very good. Let's take off our rosy glasses and consider some of the firm's weaknesses. One could argue Starbucks offers the same product in all countries where it operates. It does not customize it according to the different tastes of people in different geographies. For some customers, this is an issue, and they prefer competitor products tailored to their specific geographical preferences. In addition, Starbucks has a premium price policy, which is not in line with most customers' expectations. Not all countries have enough middle and high-income class individuals who can afford to pay extra for their coffee. Weakness number 3 would be the high employee turnover that the chain's coffee shops have. It is difficult to serve coffee as a premium product when the company's baristas have been on the job for only a couple of weeks. In terms of opportunities, we can say the following. Starbucks can access new countries easily. It simply has to apply its existing business model in these new geographies. Emerging markets can be a great source of growth for the company. Starbucks has also entered agreements within the entertainment industry and partnered with movie-producing companies. That can be a great opportunity for the firm, too. One of the biggest threats for Starbucks is the saturation of the American market, which is where most of its outlets are located. Consumers are increasingly invested in healthier lifestyle, and some substitute products are better positioned to capture the attention of the health-conscious clientele. Okay, we'll stop here. This is what a SWOT analysis looks like in practice. The depth of the observations included in the analysis depends on the information we have about the company. I'm sure an industry practitioner would be capable to prepare a much deeper analysis. However, the important point is you now know how to perform a SWOT analysis on your own, and you can distinguish the important questions from the rest when it comes to analyzing a company. SWOT analysis is a great tool that allows us to visualize and concentrate on some of the most important topics when analyzing a company. This will do for now. Thanks for watching.
Okay, that's it, everyone. I hope that you guys got some insights there. I think what for me stands out is that I think as you go through this exercise, there will be a few things that would be obvious that will pop up for yourself, for your organization, because you've been involved in it, and that's where your mind and your attention and your research and homework is focused on. But I think what's going to be important is as you mature, and as you mature your, if I can just call it research or your scope, a lot of the things would be very much external environment and trend analysis of what's going on in the industry and so forth. So, with Rubik's Cube, we have got, we basically got 2, if I can quickly just start with quick bites over here, just to use that. We've got 2 sets of SWOT analysis, as you will see in the perspectives over here. We have got one for the venture, which is your organization, and then one for your competitors. So I think what's going to be very important at this point in time is that we're going to do both of them, and just maybe as a starter, I think work towards your own organization, get that populated, and then we'll take it from there. Sorry, I just want to get this over here. I'm just going to get my notes down. And this will give us a good idea of what you can work on, what you're good at, obviously, what you're not so good at and that you want to improve. And then obviously also, if there's opportunities, those things will basically become projects or initiatives that you can work on. And then your threats would be then part of your business that you will then need to work on, or that might threaten your business that you will need to work on and then counter. I think what we also previously said is that if you're, for instance, see that your competitor has a certain strength, if your competitor have a certain strength, you will need to see that, okay, how are we going to better that? How are we going to actually match that, or so that we can actually compete with them? And if they have a certain weakness, how can we exploit their weaknesses, or actually offer something that will then actually highlight this and give us some bargaining power when we do a sale or a negotiation with a potential client. So I will also assist you guys with additional information of things you can look at, and share some information, with just like generally, where are the areas that you can look at in populating this canvas, this module. just about some generic areas outside in the external environment. For instance, maybe it's political, or it could be economical, technological trends. I'll just give you guys some pointers on where to look at and assist you in actually populating your SWOT canvas, both for yourself and for your organization. Are there any questions at this point in time from anyone that would like to ask something, or that saw something that sparked some interest of these videos before we move along?
Jean-Pierre, I think it's important to let everyone know that this is obviously a fluid item. I mean, your SWOT analysis will change sort of as your company changes, as you go through the various growth cycles of your company. So I think it's important that the guys actually understand that.
That's right, yeah. And I think with anything that you guys will see is these, we obviously have our program that's that we're going to run through from start to finish, but at no point ever is it a static thing, and that when you've populated something, that's where it stops. I think as we move on through these modules, eventually we'll be introduced to all these canvases, you know, to your motivation canvas. We've got some introduction to the business model. We'll get to the value proposition. We've now done SWOT, and eventually we'll get to product. But as you proceed over here, and please, like I said, I'm always here. If there's anything that you'd like to know about any of these canvases or the blocks, please let me know, and I can explain it to you. And yeah, the more information you populate in here, the better it's going to be. Because we're going to get to a point where we're actually going to start working with the information in it, in your cube itself, and it's going to be quite valuable for you to actually make practical changes in your organization. All right. Anything else from anyone else? Cool. All right, so I think, you know, what I would like to get back to is our previous exercise that we were all involved with. How did you guys find it? Was it a difficult exercise? Was it hard to come up with a problem statement? I'd love to get you guys' feedback. Anyone that wants to go first? Let me quickly see. Okay, so Tebogo, if we can maybe start with Tebogo. I think this was a really good job, well done. I think what you've put down here actually encapsulated really. I think you understood it really well, and you've put some really valuable information in here. How did you find the process, and did it actually help you in identifying certain things in your organization that you haven't thought of, or maybe sparked some new angles to look at things?
Yeah, the canvas helped quite a bit. But then, like, I think I still have an issue with, like, simplifying the problem statement, because I saw that, like, I wrote a lot of things there. So I just wanted to, like, simplify it a bit. So that is my thing, the only kind of issue that I had. But
okay,
yeah, it assisted me.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I think as what Tyron said previously are these things, I think what you've done is 100%. It's always better to put as many of your thoughts onto the canvas and to try and list as many of the problems that you identify. And from there on, it's going to be a process of refinement. And then, you know, you're going to add stuff, you're going to change stuff. But I think what you've done here is really good. I mean, we can see that these are clear problem statements. So if I remember correctly, you are basically providing a service, and we can obviously see it from the problems and the solutions here, is something that will be challenging Uber Eats. And Uber Eats provides the service where you've got a restaurant and they provide the infrastructure and the mechanism to actually go have someone obviously place an order on the Uber platform. Someone goes out with a motorcycle, pick up food and deliver it to someone's house.
Yeah.
And I think what the problem with that is that if we can maybe quickly go through that shortage of skilled delivery personnel in South Africa, of quality driver support, of quality driver supply. So there's a lot of people that would like to be on a motorcycle and delivering food, but are they reliable? Are they actually, good drivers? Driver safety, you've listed that as a problem. Can you maybe elaborate on that a little bit more?
Usually, like if you maybe check out some of the motorcycles that these drivers use aren't like in good condition. So, and also I don't think Uber Eats or other like food delivery companies follow up with like when a driver gets involved in an accident, they're not really right driver focused. So I'm kind of I kind of want to build something that is also driver focused as well,
Okay.
and then like.
Okay, that's quite interesting, and I think if we and I think then what is also what should be one of your customers, I haven't missed anything, is that you need to let's say willing drivers or delivery just say delivery drivers. I'm not sure what's the right term, but I think you get what I'm saying, because that's an additional customer segment, because you are also now almost becoming this platform, this platform that Uber Eats is, but you offer something additional to these drivers. It's going to be a place where someone actually look after you. They maybe give you a bike, they maybe give you training, and where Uber Eats is maybe a less personal service, and they don't really care that much about you. So there's an additional customer segment right there. Okay. Maybe let's look at a few others. Expect growth for on-demand and same-day delivery services. Expected growth. Why did you list that one specifically as a problem? Okay, so I see you've got a description here. Businesses are struggling to keep up with the overwhelming customer demand for same-day delivery services. The pandemic is forcing food supply. Okay, so there's a need in the marketplace.
Yes.
And that's the gap that you're going to try and fill. Okay, that also makes 100% sense. Okay, the cost of motorcycle ownership. Cool. So that's the maintenance of them and the buying or leasing of
insurance.
Insurance, that's right. And how are you thinking of solving these problems?
Well, currently,
this particular one, sorry.
Which one? The cost of motorcycle ownership.
That's right.
Yeah, so currently we do lease bikes that we fully insure, so that the client doesn't have to worry about the insurance, and then we also cover the maintenance and and repairs expenses, so they don't need to worry about that as well. So currently that's what we do, and also on the driver side as well, there are a few drivers that I have leased my bikes to, so they also don't need to worry about insurance and repairs and maintenance, because the rental fee kind of covers all those expenses.
Okay, cool. All right, we've gone through the solutions briefly. I just want to quickly go through the whole process. So I think that's what you basically alluded to there with your, not alluded, but you stipulated in your interim motorcycle management, your value proposition.
Yeah.
Maintenance management, very similar. the value propositions you provide, the insurance, access to a rider network, cool, driver training and vetting, telematics, own team of drivers, etc. Okay, cool. These are all really nice value propositions. And I think what's going to happen, obviously, with the same as with the problem statements, is you're going to put all these items that you believe is valuable. And when we're going to then basically build up towards a value proposition, a proper value proposition statement. And what's going to happen is that's why it's very useful to actually put down as much as you can over here, because we're going to link these things eventually to these customers, and you're going to zone in to these guys and say, and eventually we're going to go out and we're going to ask them, will you find this valuable? Well, how will this work for you? How does this currently happen? And as apart from that process, that's why I think we're going to do this pretty soon, is that those guys are also going to give you key insights to your competitors. When you go and speak to your intended customers, they're going to give you a lot of insights of who they are dealing with and how they, if you've identified good problems and actual problems in their lives and they need those sorted, you're going to get a lot of valuable information from them on who else is doing what. And I think, from those interviews, you're going to have so many areas of your cube that you will be able to populate with very valuable information. Cool. And then over here, I think, once again, some good points over here. I'll go into them in more detail and give you some decent feedback over there. So thank you very much for your effort here. I can see that you have done some thinking and thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Right. Just quickly, just give me one moment. I think let's do one. Is there anyone else that would like to discuss what they've done so far?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, it's Andile. Sorry for joining late.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem
Yes.
at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I share my? Oh, okay. Let me share my screen.
You are welcome to share your screen. Sure.
Okay. No. Basically, I worked on this one. I will copy and paste from this one to finish up with to use your format, because I was struggling to log in.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is initially what I basically did. So here in value proposition, crop management and precision agriculture made better through drone solar powered through solar powered drone technology.
Okay.
So pushing the boundaries of crop protection, lifting agricultural efficiency to new heights, and opening more possibilities for the future of solar powered drones. So I'll only use that for my value proposition. Okay. Because what basically the problems that I looked at is that the average African farmer has a low crop yield and poor quality crops, and also they lose up to 40% of yields.
Wow,
most of
that's
the
significant.
time, yeah, most of the time when they are growing crops. So looking at the drone technology, it simplifies, or it gives them more precision agriculture to be precise. So putting up the chemicals, and also when they do the recording, because the recording actually assists in terms for one to comply with the global gap and SA gap. So that is my angle. So awesome. When we look at the key activities, so it will be early stage disease scouting and spraying, soil and field assessment of crop damage and crop progress, soil mapping and soil moisture estimation, irrigation monitoring and management. So this will be combined with the installation of soil props and to get more accuracy within the field, and thus that increases the crop yield and the quality of crops.
Okay.
So collects data, improve necessary information for better decision making, because now when you are aware of what is happening on the field, you will be able to make right decision on what to spray and what not to spray. And is it necessary to spray the whole field, or you only spray that particular affected area?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think what I really like about your value propositions, that is how a proper value proposition should start looking like. You know, it's a statement of value that you provide. So look at the top one. It says crop management and precision agriculture made better through solar-powered drone technology. So you almost you capture the activity or the how can I put it, crop management as a business capability really, and you also mention that there is the technology that's being used, and the value is the better management basically of crops. So it's a nice statement. It's almost very marketable, and I maybe want to ask Mark and their team to maybe comment on this. What I would like the guys to eventually get to is if you've got we've got now our problem statement, we've got a solution, we've got a value proposition, we know our channel, our customer, and what we roughly want to ask. I would like them to go and confirm this with their customers' segments, come back and update as much information as they can, perform a SWOT analysis on some of their competitors, and find out what is their strengths, what's their weaknesses, do a SWOT for themselves, and obviously understand where their opportunities and strengths basically lie. And how can they then go out and use this information that they have to come up with a nice elevator pitch or initial marketing message, and then potentially identify with exactly like I explained previously with Tebogo's linking of her value propositions to the customer segments, that we can actually then come up with separate marketing messages for specific segments and an elevator pitch. That's where I would like to go with this exercise. And Mark and team, I would love to hear your feedback on that.
Can I speak? I don't know if Dumisani or Raquel want to say something, but I think for me, it's very important from a marketing strategy to have a very clear objective and a very clear mission and vision statements. And I think by understanding your strengths, weaknesses, objectives, and opportunities and threats, and the value, you're able to really focus on that mission statement and on that vision statement, which as a customer, when you hear the mission and the vision, it's very obvious of what the business does and what they have to offer.
And do you think that this vision and mission goals and objectives, or typical strategy stuff, could be well supported and almost shaped and crafted a little bit more with this exercise that we are going through? Definitely. Okay. I think it's important. So within Rubik's Cube, we've got a space there called goals, and what you basically do, that's on the motivation canvas. We put down our vision and our mission in there, and obviously that's also a process that we continuously go through. So I think what I'm going to also maybe ask the guys to do is, as you go through this exercise, plot down your vision and your mission there, just sequentially in the goals block. So that we can get an idea of where you want to go. And I think what would be nice is to come up with a few statements on how we can actually help you market and do your brand positioning, etc. with through this exercise. Sam, is there anything else that you'd like to add to that?
No, I'm all good. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for the input. Andile, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us?
Okay. I think that is that's it for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
okay, just a quick one. I was failing to log in. You know, when I tried to register, they say the name has already been registered, but I couldn't get the right password to log in.
Okay, let's please mail me at any point in time if you when you get stuck, and I'll even after this call we can quickly sit and see what's if there's anything that wrong there, and we can get you up and running as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
No problem, anytime. Okay, so let's quickly see. Yes, Temba is here as well. So Artisan Trade Depot. I believe that's Nick, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's Nick.
It's Nick. Yeah, he's just out loading a truck. He'll be on the session afterwards.
Okay, cool. I think he also didn't get to populating his queue at the moment, but that's fine. We'll look at that in a bit. So I'm just going to share my screen again. There we go. Just for in case there's something we need to reference. So. Right, so I think what we've basically done is we just quickly, I just wanted to recap and get from anyone a feel of the previous module that they worked through. If there's anything else, guys, I'm going to ask quickly once again, if there's anything that you guys wanted to know, some clarification on populating any of those things and the process that was followed. Let me, if you want to discuss it quickly now, please let us know. Sia Temba, how did you find the exercise? I think Sia maybe. I think we previously had some issues with getting through to him as well. Okay, cool. I'm gonna proceed. If there's any questions, please let me know. So we've gone through this previous exercise. I think what we should do next is, and I'll write you guys or communicate via Dumisani, is what we need to do is we need to actually go and identify 6 customers, or 6 customers as in people that you can actually go and speak to and get some feedback from. I thought of maybe splitting them into 2 groups, current ones and potential customers, that we can actually go and speak to them. If we can just take this example once again, over here we've got 5 different types of customers, and actually go and confirm with them that these problem statements that we've logged, or these solutions, these value propositions, what do they, does it resonate with them, and get some real feedback from them. Also, just try and ask them, tell them this is what you want to offer. How do they feel about it? Tell them, share with them how you intend or are currently asking them for compensation, and what works for them, what doesn't work for them. And let's try and put as much of that information back into the system. I'll show you guys how to do that. So I'll compile something and I'll take you guys through that, so we can keep everything as far as possible within Rubik's Cube. And then what we also need to do is to find 3 competitors to do the SWOT analysis on. We can just do it lightweight, maybe first of all, just to get something in. First of all, identify those 3 and then do a SWOT analysis to your best of your ability. Don't overthink it, and just get some information in there. After that, I think us as guides will need to provide you with some feedback on the information that you've captured, and maybe just to better understand your business, give you some constructive feedback, and just share a bit and see if we can help you to make whatever form of progress that you can make. And once we have that, as I've said, I think it would be a great exercise that we can focus on and getting a nice marketing message out there. First of all, maybe an elevator pitch. Second type of message, which, thanks for that, Sam, come back to your vision and your mission and your purpose and who you are as an individual, what does your company stand for, and and just what's the culture, and people like to engage with others and see what they are doing and how they are doing it. I think there's a lot of value in there, and just sharing just that human part of what your organization is about. And then I think thirdly, we can actually start going into a more sales-driven kind of message, where you maybe have a call to action, or actually maybe promote some of your products or services. So we'll get to that in due course. I'm not sure where everyone exactly is with their organizations, but that's a suggestion from my side. And I think it could be very valuable for us to share those experiences amongst us in the cohort, but also with the program, and that we can share that with the rest of the world, giving the program more exposure and also giving you guys exposure to the world out there. That's pretty much it from my side, guys. If there's anything else we can talk about, I'd be glad to hear from you. But yeah, very exciting times, and thank you for everyone's that submitted some feedback. It's been really helpful, and it's nice to share that within our group and to learn together. Anything else, anyone?
Awesome. Guys, if that's it, let's wrap that. You guys got enough homework to do to keep you a little bit busy now.
Yeah.
We don't have a session next week, so it gives you guys enough time to then get this through. So yeah, good luck. Enjoy.
Cool. Is that it, guys? It sounds like it.